Hi, everyone. Lynn here. I am so excited to introduce you to my good friend, Nancy Norbeck. She is brilliant. She is a Be More conference speaker. And because of Nancy, I am willing to make bad art. Woo! So, Nancy, I want you to introduce yourself to everybody. Please tell everybody who you are, where you are, what you're about in this world.
Well, I'm Nancy Norbeck. I am located in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, which is about halfway between New York and Philadelphia. And I am a master creativity coach, the host of the Follow Your Curiosity podcast, and the creator of the Make Bad Art course, where we deliberately and intentionally make bad art as a way to counter perfectionism, self-judgment, and just give ourselves a greater sense of freedom.
And it's so good too. It's such a great way to release ourselves from the shoulds in the world is through art. I love it so much, as you know. So, Nancy, you are a Be More conference speaker on the Rise and Resonate panel this fall. And that panel is all about reclaiming our confidence, our voice, and our creative power. So it's a perfect place for you. So tell everybody what would I don't want you to say what you're going to say on the panel, but why is that important? Why is reclaiming our confidence, our voice, and our creative power something that we're even talking about? What do women need to hear about that?
I think the thing that is most misunderstood about having a creative practice is that it does build your confidence and your voice. It's a
Yeah.
great way to find both of those things. We usually relegate creativity to that thing that we'll do if we have time. It's nice to do it, but we don't need to do it. But as soon as you start engaging with your own creativity, you really start to engage your own power and your curiosity and find out who you are, which connects you with your deepest self. So it's
Mhm.
not just a frivolous little, my grandmother made doilies in her spare time. It wasn't frivolous to your grandmother.
Right.
And whatever it is that you want to do is not going to end up being frivolous to you. It can be one of the most meaningful things that you do. And you can do it with others. You can do it with your kids. You can do it with your friends. Or if you want, you can do it yourself. The important thing is just that you do it. And part
Mhm.
of what is so wonderful about Make Bad Art is that it does all of those things while giving you a way to counteract all of those icky voices in your head. Because while you're creating, even if you're deliberately doing something bad, you are proving to yourself that you're capable of doing that thing that maybe you were afraid to do, that you were told you shouldn't do. It's all part of the same whole, and we really should start thinking of it that way a whole lot more often.
Love that. And somebody said recently, I can't remember who said this originally, but somebody said, one way to build confidence is just to do the things, whether you're any good at them or not. And the more you do it, the more confident you get that you can do it because you did it, right? And that's the way this it's building a muscle, sort of. I love that. So, Nancy, you and I are part of the Wise Women Collective community and this community of amazing Be More conference speakers. And we see women, you know, just living life the best they can and all of that. What's an encouraging message that you have for women? Doesn't have to be about your panel, just in general. What do you think women need to hear today?
Oh, I could go with so many different
Yeah.
things,
Hmm.
so many. But I think, one of the things that we get hung up on as women is how we look.
Yeah.
And the fact is that the more self-conscious we make ourselves with having to look put together and dignified and
Yeah.
Instagram ready and all of that, the more we hold ourselves back. Because, the people who really, really get in touch with their creativity in ways that change the world are the people who are willing to say, I will make a total fool of myself for
Yeah.
this in order to do it right. And that unwillingness to say, so what? I'm going to do this and I don't care what anybody thinks about it is a huge unrecognized hurdle for so many people.
Yeah.
So, of all of the things that I could say today, don't worry about what people think. Don't worry about what they're going to say. If you love doing it, just go do it. And I realize that it can be easier said than done to
Yeah.
not care about those things, but the more you start to do it, the easier it will get. And you will have more fun. You'll produce better stuff. And it will add more value to the world because you had the courage to say, so what? I'm going to do it anyhow.
Oh, I love it. I've been reading a lot of historical little snippets about women who did exactly that throughout history, who said, I don't care what society tells me I can or can't do. Here's what I'm going to go do. And those stories are so inspiring. And, I see it in my Reset at work all the time, people, but a lot of women who have these programs in their head about, I have to do it a certain way, or I can only do this or that or whatever, because that's what society and people have told them. And I have to look a certain way doing it, or I'm not good enough, right? All of that, just, let's help everybody trash those.
Yeah.
So I love that. All right. So Nancy, you have been a part of this Be More Conference speaker community. We really kind of gathered the speakers back at the beginning of the summer, and it is a community. We spend some time together and we connect and we support each other and all of that. And if you met a woman out there who was listening to this and saying, I haven't gotten my ticket yet, I'm not sure if I can be there, or I don't know if I'm coming, what would you say to them about why they need to be at the Be More conference?
I think the roster of speakers for this conference is so widely varied and so just in general phenomenal.
Yeah.
And there is somebody who's going to speak to you, maybe more than one, but at least one who's going to speak to you wherever you are in the moment. Somebody at this conference is going to say exactly the thing you need to hear that day.
Yeah.
And for $27, I mean, you can barely go out to get a decent dinner for $27
Right.
anymore. And you get that whole day, you get all of these voices, and you get all of the recordings. So if something happens and you can't make all or part of it, you still get to go and check it all out and you can go back to it. I just think you're going to be completely blown away by the quality of the folks that are presenting at Be More. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Well, I'm so excited that you're a part of it. And you're so right. I can see, because of the way we do the recordings, when people, I don't ever look at who, but, and I'm not even sure I can see who, but I can see when people are watching the recordings, like this video has been played on this date and time, whatever. And people are still watching Be More conference recordings from several conferences ago. It's amazing to me that people come back to them and come back to them and come back to them. And so you're so right. Even if you can't be there, you get all the recordings. It's so worth it. It's a free bonus with every $27 ticket. And I just talked to a friend today who said, I'm going to be on vacation and I'm with my husband and we have plans that day. So I can't be there, but I'm buying a ticket because I want the recordings, right? It happens about half the tickets we sell are to people who can't be there at the whole day or can't be there, at all. So you're so right. And that's a great reminder for all of us. And the other thing is, I cannot tell you the number of people who say to me at the end of this conference, gosh, I wish I had realized how fabulous this was going to be. I would have told all my friends. I'm like, go tell your friends now, people. Now's the time, right now. And that way, by the 20th, when it gets here, you'll have a crowd of your people there with you. And the other thing I think people need to know, Nancy, is Be More conferences, not just sit and listen to speakers. It is engaging. We have networking. We have times where you're going to discuss what the panel said. We have all kinds of times to interact and meet the speakers as well as meet the other attendees, which is something that most online summits and conferences just don't do. So, well, Nancy, thank you so much for being here with me, for being a part of Be More Conference, for just helping us to promote and talk about and all of that. I can't wait for the 20th, and I'm glad you're here with me today. Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.